So I know this guy who's living off the grid now, and he seems like a cool guy, but he was mentioning how he has a really hard time getting functional in the morning. He has a hard time waking up quickly. Now, I don't have that problem. I got severe sleep problems, but that's a different matter. And I thought about making a suggestion to him, but, you know, I can come across a little bit bossy if I do that. And I kind of get sick of people telling me what the fuck to do and how to live. It gets pretty annoying. So I hesitate to do that. On the other hand, in the form of a video, not to anyone in particular, he might see it, but I'm going to make some suggestions. One, especially if you're living off the grid, it's a really great thing to do is go to sleep at night. And the way to do that is to get up early. So my belief is as soon as it's light out, you should be ready to go for your day. Now, I get up before that because I want to check in online and do some stuff. And so my actual optimal time to get up has turned out to be like 3 a.m. And I know with my ex-girlfriend, we used to get up at 3 a.m. and she would write and I would write. We'd be on our couches and she'd have a nice dog next to her on the couch. And she had very fast fingers, so she wrote a lot. And that way, by the time the sun comes up, you've already accomplished a lot of things in your day. You've gotten a lot done. That seemed like the kind of bark where there's a person. Hola? No, I don't think so. What are we talking about? Oh yeah, getting up. And I tend to, as soon as it gets dark, and I'm currently, my solar power's out, which is convenient because it's forcing me to live in the light. It's forcing me to live when there's light out because I can't really get anything done at night, which in many ways is a terrible thing because a lot of my labor is wasted. I spend a lot of my nights watching movies, which has been fun, but ultimately is a waste of my time. I'd rather be making movies. And once my solar power is fixed, then I'll open up my nights for online work. And I think when it's dark out, it's a great time for online work. And then you could be outside all day long doing cool shit. Even if it's just walking around talking to people and looking at birds and stuff, you know, or it's actual work. Either is fine. But it's a matter of time use. So, in any case, you know, it's just something to think about is your personal daily schedule. And I guess there's a big luxury in sleeping in, but that luxury goes away, that need goes away if you just go to sleep earlier. You'll just automatically wake up at the right time. So, just a suggestion, thought. But, you know, maybe some other schedule works well for you. I tend to, if I have electricity, I do tend to be kind of a night owl, and I try and avoid going to sleep. And I find that it's not the most productive pattern for me. I don't get as much done. And of course, being online, it's really hard not to waste a lot of time online. In fact, maybe I should have computers where they don't even have internet access, or internet access is shut off in certain spaces at certain times, so that I only really have the option of being productive, of writing and stuff, and then I check in at various times online. I mean, it seems like, you know, why would we want to control that? Why can't we just, you know, do good things all the time? But the truth is we're not very good at that. Like if we have lots of snacks, I found this to be the case. If you have snacks sitting next to your computer, you'll keep snacking on them a lot. It's a fairly bad idea. And there's many other cases where if we have the option to do things the bad way, we will do them the bad way. We will waste energy. We will overuse resources. We just act badly given the option. And so that's one of those big conflicts that I have as I want to promote freedom. I want to also set kind of boundaries around it to help us to be better people. And I often think in these kind of, when I'm on these kind of thought trains, I think of the Amish, where they've made decisions, and not always the same ones, different communities are different, about how they want to use technology so it serves them instead of them serving the technology. And so it's not really a conflict in terms of, because I'm against people being forced to do things, but I'm very much in favor of making a social agreement for different spaces on how we can operate in better ways. And of course, you can do that in your own life. And you probably have realized in your own life, if you have too much stuff, if you have too many options, then sometimes your behavior is not actually the behavior you wish to have. Like people who become suddenly wealthy often find out that they're not prepared for that and that they waste a lot of it. Or even people who are very successful are very unhappy because though they're successful in one area, they have failed to take care of themselves in others. It's very tricky stuff to think about, but good luck. Any thoughts are welcome in the comments,